All right, man, here we are. All right, men, here we are. All right, gentlemen, here we are in the last match of the day. This last best of 3 is a qualifying match. One of these two players will have a chance at a career in WCS for Season 3. One of them will sadly have to wait for another qualifier, as this is only the first qualifier to try and get through. But both absolutely fantastic players. Both very talented players that I expect to see at the next qualifying match, the next end of the day for the next WCS qualifier. But spawning here in the bottom right corner of the map from Fnatic, ladies and gentlemen, the red Zerg player, some Protoss, it is Miniraser. And his opponent in the top left from the team Planet Key. It's going to be the green non-cheesy player today, Gungfubanda. I mean, I can't, guys. It's for over a year we've been casting Zotac Cups, and over a year we've seen Gungfubanda just be like the cheesiest guy known to man. Even Miniraser, you know, when I messaged him with the series, he's like, wait, what? He won? You know, I didn't want to play some cheesy kid. I wanted to play the champion hash swaps. And I was like, dude, no, you don't even understand. This is, of course, verbatim. I was like, he's playing some solid macro games today. So we'll see if Miniraser can read into this or not. Or maybe Gungfubanda is just going to change it up for the last game. Either way, it's worth noting going into this series, you know, he was a little bit nervous. This is a guy who's probably not as experienced as Miniraser when it comes to tournaments. He's probably not as practiced, and that's why he gets nervous as he gets towards the end of the day. But I really, truly think if Gungfubanda can keep it calm, if he can keep it collected, and he doesn't let his nerves get the best of him, he could potentially play a fantastic macro game versus Miniraser. But Miniraser, his job's not to let that happen. Miniraser, his job's to get as aggressive as he can and try and keep Gungfubanda from A, ever taking a third, but B, from winning the game. This is a map where I think King Sejong, I've said it before, I will gladly say it again, is heavily, heavily influenced by whoever gets control of the map first. Whoever gets control of the map early tends to keep it for the rest of the game. Now, okay, this is a little bit of fluff talk while the game gets started. Oh, actually, hang on, Miniraser's taking a very freaking quick third, seeing that Nexus first out of Gungfubanda. But guys, bets are closed at this point for this final series. We have a total of 4,563 imaginary points called Partoufs placed on Miniraser, but 5,757 on Gungfubanda. So I don't know if it's because we've been following his storyline today a little bit, if you're just impressed with him, or the power of Protoss. But there's a small amount of fan favoritism here in the favor of Gungfubanda. I think the reality is, though, I'm not going to be disappointed with whoever takes this series. Whether Gungfu gets it through, or whether Miniraser qualifies for Challenger League, I think both of these players have absolutely earned it in my books. Miniraser through his past experiences, and Gungfubanda with how he's been playing today, specifically and especially. But that third base is going to translate so well for Miniraser. There's times where Protoss players, and I'm alluding mostly to a lot of the Korean players, they go for a lot of gateways early on. And I'm not talking like 10 or 8, I'm talking like 3 or 4. And they work to shut down that third base as quickly as possible to make sure that this base never gets to produce anything. And Gungfubanda, he sneaks a probe in the back here. If he can sneak a pylon in later, this could be really hard to deal with. Now the magic number tends to be, well, I should actually go for Stalkers to take this back. I was going to say, if he goes for gateways, you know, 4 off of 2 bases, not too bad. Can quickly become an all-in if not careful. Doesn't always start as an all-in, but becomes one very quickly. 3 gateways is something that we saw a player from Samsung Galaxy Trend always do as his trademark. He'd get 7 zealots off of 3 gateways and just rock everybody's world. No Zerg player could hold a third versus that. I don't know how or why, but he's the only one to do it. And it tended to work pretty well for him. But I really like the sneaky probe out of Gungfubanda. I'm waiting for him to throw it on a pylon and maybe get the hell out of dodge. Maybe he's just trying to minimize any chance that he gets scouted. But as the creep starts spreading, he's going to have to worry a little bit about that. Small poke come down here, though. The 2 queens actually might not be able to deal with this. If there's a zealot behind this, absolutely he locks down some kills. But yeah, the queen's going to chase off the mothership core and the stalker. Sorry, the hiccup there. Happens when I get too excited. The stalker is also going to have to return home. So if there had only been 1 queen instead of 2, he would have actually killed the queen. For those who don't know, like the numbers in the game, 1 mothership core versus 1 queen, they actually have the statistical chance to kill each other at the same time due to projectiles in the air. But most likely than not, it's kind of just random. I've done this. I've tested this in the unit thing, guys. Sometimes the queen wins, sometimes it doesn't. I have no idea what influences it, but something about the attack speed of both these units is just weird. You know, one guy attacks when it's the odd number of the hour, of the odd second of the minute, but the other doesn't. Whatever. Anyways, there are 3 gateways down. He's chroning with those level 1 weapon upgrades. Oh, this is going to be so hard to deal with. Zealots, of course, hit so damn hard as is. If he waits till he's got 7 and just goes, maybe this will work. There is rather a spine collar waiting for him, but if he chronos out those +1 weapon upgrades and he waits for those, this is what's referred to often by a lot of people as a critical upgrade, guys. If you don't know how this works, maybe you're new to StarCraft, whatever the case may be, a Zealot right now takes 3 swipes to kill a Zergling. With level 1 upgrades, it only takes 2. This is also going to influence the Roaches quite heavily as well, as they are on the way, but there's only 4 of them. And Roaches without speed, even on creep, actually kind of struggle to deal with Zealots. You would assume that they would just simply kite them around. But warping in a couple extra units right now. Gungfubanda looking to just go ham and do as much damage as possible to this third. He can't focus it down due to the spine crawler. The Roaches are on the way, and there's Queens out too. There's actually transfusions available as well, but he's just got such a big surround. Those level 1 upgrades sadly missed time for this attack. But this should still work out. He kills 1 queen, gonna kill another 2. Can time warp? He does time warp to lock these units in place. Well, not lock them in place, but slow them down enough for the Zealots to connect. Mothership Core still going strong, and he actually forces a complete evacuation of his base. Pylon, completely unscouted, catches Miniraser off guard, and Gungfubanda, this doesn't have to be a dedicated all-in. In fact, he's taking a third behind this. He's applying a lot of pressure without over-dedicating to it, and I love this move. The old Gungfubanda wouldn't have this third coming down, and there'd be about 4 more gateways in play, but he's making this work. The robo facility, as I stumble through my words here, is coming down as well, and well, if there's going to be an immortal follow-up, yeah, as predicted, this could be equally dangerous, because right now what he's doing is forcing a lot of Roaches out. Does Miniraser not know about this pylon? He's got, there we go, he's got to find out about the pylon. Anyways, he'll clean it up. Okay, so this could be much worse, but Miniraser held that really nicely. In fact, I don't think two workers died for that. Nothing too crazy. The Queen's going down though. Sorry, I had things selected. It makes the resources lost actually kind of work out. Queens are quite expensive, plus that's creep spread sort of stopped, dead in its tracks. But an Immortal Sentry possible follow-up to this. We got Blink Stalkers and level 2 weapon upgrades. Third base is ready to go. I mean, with the Photon Overcharge combined with these force fields, Gungfubanda should easily kill all these lings. He might lose a couple probes unless he pulls them out right now. Force fields? Also traps a couple probes, but gets most of these lings, and Miniraser sadly doesn't get a lot of damage done with this attack. In fact, actually it's losing out on this despite getting a couple of those probes. But Chrono Boost is a hell of a drug, and he'll be able to make up that difference with relative ease. And disengaging off of this because I think he knows that he can't quite finish the job. So heading back home here is Miniraser. Gungfubanda, I mean, he's... I really didn't expect him to be in this spot. I really didn't. Not in a situation where he holds so nicely off of the back end of a failed, I guess, 3-gate attack like that. I say failed in air quotes, guys, because it was cost-effective for him, but it didn't kill the hatchery. Kind of the goal of that attack is, surprise! You don't have a spine car, you don't have roaches, you only have lings, you can't deal with my zealots, but Miniraser was prepared and ready. But this Immortal Sentry attack's looking really scary. We have a Spire on the way, which in most other scenarios shuts this down because there's zealots associated with this. Not massive amounts of stalkers, but there's a lot of stalkers, there's a lot of sentries. Guardian shields are going to be available. Warpins will of course be something added into the mix as well, and it actually just cancels the 4th. Wait, goes to rebuild it? Hang on, I swear he was building it before. I don't know. I'm on like no sleep right now, guys, so we'll just assume I'm going crazy a little bit here on the sidelines. The creep spread, though, helps prevent pylons from going down, as we can see. This is one of the biggest benefits to creep that a lot of people overlook, but Blink revealed. He's got a Time Warp available. He's got an Overcharge possible as well. Or not Overcharge, I'm saying here, a Recall. Sorry, mixing up the abilities on the Mothership Core. That's how you know you're really getting towards the end of the day. But looking to push forward on this 3rd. I don't know that Miniraser can engage this. Yes, he's got a hefty army supply, but the problem is you can't... There's Blink Stalkers. A, with Blink, he's going to retain a lot of these Stalkers for the engagement. B, Force Field's going to keep a lot of these units back. And C, Guardian Shield's going to reduce a lot of the damage here, thanks to these sentries. It's only 2 a shot, but the Roaches, I mean, they hit so slow, it really comes into play. The Mutas, of course, also get affected by the Guardian Shield, so I'd say Gungfubanda, you know, this might just be the all-in he was looking for. Yes, there's a Robo facility or Bay coming up behind this, and maybe he'll get Colossus for the late game. But this attack, if he loses the Mothership Core and can't recall out of this, he won't have a recovery. In fact, actually, Miniraser possibly just going to go for the base trade. I don't think this will work. There's too much damage here. He can knock down this 3rd like nobody's business and recall home. I feel like this is a desperate move out of Miniraser, but perhaps the right one. Oh, but the Mothership Core. Oh, the Mothership Core is going to get sniped off by the Spore Caller if he's not careful. Mothership Core is going to go down. He loses the Mothership Core. Now it's a forced out full-on base trade. There's no way to recall and get back home. Gungfubanda has to kill his opponent now. There's no questioning this. If he had been paying a little bit more attention, maybe that's the panic kicking in, the excitement, I don't know. But because he lost that Mothership Core, there's no way to get home and defend. This should have been easily kill the natural, kill the third, recall back home and save your main. But that's not going to happen. In fact, he's lost just about everything. There's like nary a probe in sight. 10 left on the map. He's going to kill the hatcheries. He's going to kill the tech. When it comes to an actual just straight up base trade, though, he builds another Nexus. I don't know when. This was the probe that built a pylon earlier to warp units in with. He found no effect from it whatsoever. He throws down a Dark Shrine before he loses his tech. He's got a gateway coming down to replace this, but he's got a Nexus building, which is the most important thing. So right now, Gungfubanda, yeah, he's supply blocked. He's not warping in DTs anytime soon. He's not kidding anybody. But his opponent, with no layer tech, is going to have no overseers. He's got one overseer in play. He's going to have one single thing that can detect DTs. So the DTs can walk around the map. They're going to have some free reign. This is going to work out so well. I think in this... I hate being punny like this. I mean, I love puns, but I hate being... In this base trade on Base Trade TV, I think Gungfubanda should take this. There's very little that I can see he can do. He might be able to throw the game. I don't know, but he's got a vastly superior army supply. He can camp out around this one Nexus. He's throwing down hella pylons right now with what little money he has left. Because he knows he's going to need the supply for it. But, I mean, he doesn't know where this last hatchery is. He doesn't know where Miniraser's plopped down a new base. Miniraser's actually got enough minerals to build another hatchery on top of this, but I don't think Miniraser can win this game. If this was a situation where Gungfubanda's only got like one pylon available, you know, then he dives in for the pylon through the stalkers. It's a crazy mess and kills it. But no, it's a whole base. It's pylons. It's a Nexus. It's a Dark Shrine. We got Phoenixes now hallucinated, heading across the map to scout and see where his opponent's at. And guys, I told you this was going to be a good series. Pretty positive Gungfubanda just won this game. Level 2 weapon upgrades. Blink Stalkers en masse against what is 7 Mutalisks? That's not even a problem. If he can confirm that there's only one base in play right now, he may end up diving for this and abandon his own base. But I think what he really should do is just play the macro game. Win this outright. I mean, his opponent's got no tech. It's going to take for he's got to build a spawning pool. Then he's got to build a lair. Then he's got to build a spire. They've got to get Roach Warren. And it's just, it takes so much longer for a Zerg player to replenish their tech after it's been completely killed off than it does for a Protoss player. So Gungfubanda's got that much going for him. But Miniraser's got a lot more workers, so the income's looking a lot better. This is a hard choice to make. Gungfubanda, by the way, still supply blocked, has to actually mine enough minerals to build another pylon so he can build more probes. This is why I think he should go for it. This is why I think he should say, you know what, just screw it, let's go, let's rock and roll, let's party. But unaware that this is the last base remaining. Oh, there we go, another one hidden up here to the north. I think Miniraser, by the way, he's going to have enough money with this crazy drone count to build a hatchery at every base on the map. And that's the timing that works against Gungfubanda. Because even this pylon is not going to unsupply block him. He's... I don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but absolutely worthless right now because there's nothing he can do. It's going to take another minute and a half to mine enough minerals to build another pylon. And it makes sense that he's leaving. Like, I kind of wish he would just take 4 stalkers off and harass, right? Blink's going to give him a lot of mobility, a lot of survivability. If he loses those 4 stalkers, so be it. That unsupply blocks him. He can build more probes. But if he sends those stalkers out and can dive for that overseer... Oh, did Miniraser see this Dark Shrine? He did. That must have been a changeling. I'm sorry, I didn't see that if that's the case. So he saw the Dark Shrine. He throws down a Spore Crawler in case the overseer dies. This was going to be a really big problem if there was only one form of detection. But Miniraser, can you do this? Lings get us around on top of the stalkers, but they focus down the Mutalisks. I mean, truthfully, the Mutalisks are the one true threat to this game. It's not the Lings. Miniraser loses his entire army in an instant. But it's also unsupply blocks Gungfubanda. He could build a probe right now if he wanted to, but he doesn't need to, I think. I think a push to win might be in order, but he doesn't know what his opponent has. If he had an observer on the map, this would look different. He's forced to rely on hallucinated phoenixes to fill that gap. And there's no Mothership Core either, guys, so there's no recalling back to the Nexus if all things go to hell. This is such a dangerous spot to be in. I can't even. I don't know what to do in this scenario. I've never, as a crappy, random, horrible player, been in this scenario. I don't know what Gungfubanda does as Protoss. I mean, my instincts tell me go for it. Gun and run. Bring the one probe you have and throw an assimilator down where you go. Throw a pylon down where you go. just on the off chance that your opponent does decide to base trade you, base race you. But a DT warps in. A DT warps in. That's what he was saving minerals for. No pylon, no probes. One lone Dark Templar, who should actually be able to fend off these roaches. Stalkers do segment off, as I was kind of talking about before, but the Lings come out. This is actually a bit of a problem, because Stalker's not so great against Lings. And this DT might have DPS, but it doesn't have, or it might have damage, but it doesn't have DPS. Where's that Overseer? Did he lose the Overseer? The Overseer's coming. Oh my god, it's on the wrong side of the map. This Dark Templar will eventually clean everything up, but a little bit awkward. Gungfubanda gets caught in the middle of nowhere. His army too split, his army too segmented, and he loses so many of the Stalkers. He's got to kill those Mutas though, because the Mutas can't be touched by the DTs. Not focusing this down, this is going to cost him the game. And Miniraser, how do you do it? Miniraser may have just won this game. I mean, eventually, but he may have just won this game. Yeah, GG's going to be called. What a game, guys! That's game number 1 in this best of 3 qualifying match. Oh, congratulations to Miniraser. He takes a 1-0 lead in this series.